what are we doing in the family meeting? When we sit down, what you're going to probably see to start will be a little disheartening, and I want to try to dispel that right away. Every meeting that we come to, there's going to be different people who are playing different roles, and we go back to those roles and responsibilities that we play in group dynamics. There are going to be some skeptics who are going to come some of the way to the table, but maybe not all the way. So depending on where you've chosen to do your family meetings is really important too. You want to think about if it's the dining room table, or maybe it's a room in the house that feels really comfortable to people, that feels like a place that we can solve problems. However, if you're choosing a room in the house that's actually somebody's sanctuary away from things that are difficult, we don't want to disrupt that. So we don't want family meetings to happen in a person's room unless they're asking for that. It might be really specific. As we're pulling people together in this sacred space that you're creating for the family meeting, you might still see one or more of your kiddos kind of circling the table but unwilling to sit down. And I don't want you to let that deter you. If that's kind of how they're showing up, but they're still here and they're still engaged, there's time to invite them to the table a little later. Instead, you role model from your seat and we work on arriving together. The first thing that we might do is take a couple of moments for some silence and to take a deep breath together so that we're landing with one another. And you might open this thing up with, is there anything that anybody is coming to the table with that the family can help with right now? Because you may end up seeing that one of them's pacing around because they got something else that they're really concerned about getting complete. You can decide as a family whether or not you want to give a little bit of time for them to complete whatever that task might be, or if we can reassure them to sit down and to put some focus in on this meeting, which will then result in them being able to get back to the task at hand. Again, this is helping them to slow down. It's helping them to delay gratification. It's helping them to work on their patience and their skills using the family value system. So when the family meeting is called, we take a couple of minutes to come to a logical stopping point with whatever they're doing, and then to communicate how long they might need if they can't stop it within 5 or 10 minutes. So then we're going to come to the next part of this. We're going to use those fab statements. We can practice them by kicking off the meeting with everyone just saying a fab statement. I feel blank about blank because blank. Just communicate where everyone is. That's mom, dad, sister, brother, grandmother, whoever's there. So we're going to remind the family of the rules of engagement by saying some simple things in the beginning, like we're going to refrain from throwing darts whenever possible, and we're going to try not to dredge up the past. And whomever has called the group will be responsible for making sure that we're staying on track. If your kids are still a bit young and can't wield that authority, then you choose one of the parents or ask the kids which of the parents they would like to have be the one to monitor for the dart throwing or for the weaponization of the past. We're going to agree and reiterate on what the rules for breaks and breathers will be. That each person who needs to take a break or a breather will communicate just how long they need and when they will return, and then we'll hold accountability on that return time. Do remember that some flexibility is important here. If a person walks away for 5 minutes and comes back and says, I'm really not ready yet, let's give them another opportunity to take another breather. Sometimes it'll go the other way too. A person will say, I'm ready right now, and they're white knuckling the table. And that's when we're going to need to insist that the way the family can support is that the rest of us will take a breather. And maybe you'll all step outside, get a little sunshine on your face for a second. And we're going to try our best not to talk about whomever is not there. Just to come back silently to the table and resume. So maybe you'll step outside and get some sunshine on you. But we'll do this in silence so that we're not doing any little bit of gossip or talking about the person who isn't there. We'll return to the table and resume. And again, just to reiterate, we're going to set the expectation each time that you might need to voice that we're going to conduct our family meetings without tech devices, unless there's some planning that needs to happen. And maybe we designate a person to be the planner and update the family calendar. It could be a parent. It could be a way to invite and empower your kiddos to be a part of that process, especially if it's really important to them. So helping them along that pathway, very good. I'll also say that putting the devices in the center of the table, all of them facing down in airplane mode, one on top of the other in a stack, can be a really great tool, where you might even say, first person to pick up their phone has to wash the dishes tonight, whether that's your chore or not. And you can actually gamify it just a little bit.